What is good, people? It is open night, and today we will be featuring Dragapult again, but do not fear. I'm not going on to the OU ladder today. Today we will be looking at a monotype team, and I'll be playing a monotype game after that I will be featuring. Now, for monotype, there's one thing that I always wanted to focus on, and that's Mono Ghost, because Ghost is one of my favorite types. And I thought, what better Pokemon to add to a Mono Ghost team than Dragapult? And to be honest, it's not like we have a whole bunch of choices for sweepers in Mono Ghost. I mean, I guess you could have Nasty Block Gengar, but I added a... we'll come to Gengar in a bit. These are all banned, and we already have a Mimikyu here. Alolan Mara could work in Trick Room, but that's not what we're going for today. So we don't really even have a whole lot of options for a good sweeper in monotype, so that's why we're going with DD Dragapult today. Clear Body is to negate stat drops from Landorus and whatnot, although Infiltrator is definitely a viable ability as well to get rid of substitute Pokemon. And then we have DD draw its Phantom Force and substitute standard set with lefties. This thing has an amazing speed tier and an attack stat. I mean, in OU there are already not that many resists for this Pokemon. If you bring it onto the monotype ladder, there are even less resists, so most of the time you might just need one turn to DD up, and then after that we can just sweep. Now we're playing Mono Ghost, and obviously for Ghost, one of our biggest problems is always going to be Dark. So to cover that, we have Mimikyu. Because of its part fairy type, we're going to be taking only neutral damage from dark types. And the good news is Dragapult actually forms a pretty good offensive core with Mimikyu, so Mimikyu is kind of a no-brainer in this situation. Now we have another standard Mimikyu set with SD. Sneak is for priority. Priority is always good in a team. We have Play Rough for stab, and then Shadow College is for more stab. We could run Drain Punch if you want, but I just think Play Rough is better for Dragon matchups. And I mean, yes, 90% is a little bit annoying, and we don't really get a chance to keep Mimikyu healthy with Drain Punch, but it's, Mimikyu can sweep at the end of the game, so Drain Punch might be less relevant than getting Play Rough off. So that's why we're running Play Rough today. We also have a Life Orb, which will, well, Mimikyu doesn't have the best attacking stat, right? Like, it's 90, and at full investment with no nature for it, we're 279, which is a little pathetic, I won't lie. But with an SD up, we're looking at 279 times 2, that's 558 attack with which we can almost always get off because of Disguise. And then with the Life Orb, it's just going to do devastating damage. So Mimikyu can actually do work in Monotype, unlike in OU. So classic Mimikyu set that's coming back from, what is this, Gen 7? But yeah, so we're running Mimikyu as both the Dark manager and also a good physical core for Dragapult. Now both of these Pokemon, the one thing that they both need is some kind of chip to actually be able to do their thing, for which we have Corsola here. Now Galarian Corsola, this thing is an absolute beast. There are a few things that can truly break this in Monotype, and with the combination of Will-O-Wisp, Sap, we'll be able to completely nerf physical attackers. And then Stealth Rock, like I said, it helps us gain some chip for Mimikyu and Dragapult to beat in the late game. And Nightshade, if I'm not wrong, I think Nightshade does damage to normal types. I'm not sure, I actually haven't tried. I haven't used Nightshade in forever, so I don't know. But we have Nightshade because it's the ghost type Seismic Toss, and obviously for a Pokemon that have horrible attack stats, you just want to give them Nightshade, because no matter what kind of boosts they go for, you'll always be able to do 33% damage to them. And apart from that, it's a pretty standard set. Curse Body is amazing because this thing can take a lot of hits, right? Like, it has doesn't have the best defense, but with Violite, we're looking at pretty amazing defenses, and Spadef, so, and its health is, it's not the best, but it's fine. And we'll be able to take a lot of hits, and if we can possibly get a Curse Body off on a choice Pokemon, or we take a Curse Body trigger on a Pokemon that just killed Galarian Corsola, like maybe we, like we disable Clefable's Moonblast or something, Dragapult can just come in and sweep after that. So Curse Body is so amazing, so that's why it's on this team, and it has insane synergy with Dragapult, and it also helps Mimikyu out. Now, we're going fully defense invested because I have Aegislash as my Spadefmon, and I don't really see a need to not run any Spadef on this. Considering we're trying to nerf, I mean, sure, like if we're trying to nerf physical attackers, we could definitely like put some more investment into Spadef, but having more defense investment means we'll just be able to take at least one knockoff, and then if it's anything going for knockoff is going to be physical, so we'll be able to either strength sap it or wisp it or something. So it's not a bad thing to have that defense investment. But like I said, I built this team in like 30 minutes, so if you do like this team and you want to use this team and you think some Spadef investment is good for this thing, go for it. It's up to you. Now, talking about Spadef investment, we have Aegislash. Aegislash is amazing because of its Steel type. Steel type on its own is already pretty amazing, but for a Mono Ghost team, it does so many things. We are able to take Dragon hits. We're able to take, pretty much anything that doesn't resist, like grass. We can take those, so that we just don't die to Rillaboom clicking Grassy Glide or something. But at the same time, we have King Shield, Shadow Ball, Toxic, and Substitute. So this thing is really great for stalling things out. Shadow Ball is just good stab. King Shield will be able to nerf physical attackers even further. Toxic is just good to force punish any switching. And then Sub is just get behind the Sub and we can do things. And Aegislash, pretty much every game it's able to put in work just because of its typing and the full Spadef investment that I gave it. Now obviously Aegislash is a little weak to fire, for which we have Chandelure for, which I'll get to pretty soon. But apart from that, Aegislash, all of these mons, like this, if you look at Ghost types for this generation, there are only so many picks that you can go for that it just makes sense to have Aegislash on this team, which is why I'm trying not to spend too much time just going over why I picked these, because obviously these are banned, so let's just ignore them. I already have Gengar and Dragapult, which means I left Blisef, and instead of Blisef I'm running Chandelure, so that's covered for. We're running Aegislash instead of Doublade, so that we can run lefties and instead of Violite. Marowak Alola, like I said, we need Trick Room support for it. We already have Mimikyu. Poltergeist, we have already a strong special attacker in Gengar, so we don't really need it. And then the rest is, Decidueye leaves a lot to be, desired, I think. So not really the best pick. Dhelmise is too slow. Golurk is pretty slow as well. And then, these are just bad in my opinion. You could actually, let me say something about Shedinja here. I think Shedinja is a better pick than Aegislash if you really want to cheese out wins, because if you really think about it, the things that Shedinja are weak to are also the things that Aegislash is weak to, except for flying, I guess. But to kind of cover for Shedinja's weaknesses, we always have Chandelures to always take a fire type attack, but we will be able to completely nerf our water weakness with Shedinja. We'll be able to nerf dragon types can't touch us unless they have like knockoff or in Garchomp's case like Fire Fang or something. So Shedinja is an amazing pick, I think. I think Shedinja, Corsola, and sorry, not Shedinja. I'm just saying that you can swap Aegislash out for Shedinja, but Sableye, Aegislash, and Corsola actually form a really good core among themselves. So if you want a more defensive team, that's another thing to look into, and then you can drop something else that you don't like here. But Sableye can also do things. Jellicent is also pretty good for absorbing water attacks since we have no water resist. It's a pick that you can go for if you don't like Aegislash. I just like Aegislash because I think it's a little less passive than Jellicent, in my opinion. Although I guess they're equally passive if I really think about it. But Toxic Stalling is pretty good, and it's more possible with Aegislash than Jellicent, in my opinion. But if you really want to cheese it, I highly recommend Shedinja. And then these aren't even evolved, so yeah, you don't. My point is, for a monotype in this generation, there are only so many choices you could go for, so you're pretty limited. And once you do build your team, it kind of becomes obvious like how you need to EV them, how you need to build them, and that's also why it only took me half an hour to build this team, right? So moving on from Aegislash, that one took a bit. I'll just quickly cover Gengar. Its specs, it does what specs Gengar does. We cannot run any nature other than Timid because this thing's speed tier is so vital. I mean, if we go down to Modest, where 319 is horrible, so Gengar is best with Timid, and also it has pretty good moves and a pretty good special attack to actually just hit hard on its own. So Sludge Wave and Shadow Ball obviously are stabs. Focus Blast is to hit steel types and just have fighting coverage, while Dazzling Gleam is kind of to help Mimikyu out with that dark weakness. Sucker Punch is obviously going to be a problem for this, but I think it can be played around. Like maybe we could go to Mimikyu or something. Or worst case, we can just sack Gengar to Sucker Punch and then we can bring Mimikyu out on a free switch. So it's not bad coverage. What else can you run here? Dark Pulse, it's fine. I don't really think we have a problem with anything that we're going to need dark coverage for. Energy Ball can improve your matchup against possibly ground types. But like I said, I don't really think we have much of a problem with it. I think Dazzling Aim is just more consistent. What else? Destiny Bond is good because Gengar actually has the speed tier to even run Specs Destiny Bond. Obviously, Scarf will always be better, so if you do run a Scarf set, definitely run Destiny Bond for it. But I think for Specs, these four are pretty good. Not really much else to cover here. Once again, Curse Body, unfortunately Game Freak nerfed Gengar by removing Levitate from it, so we just have to run Curse Body. But actually, even with Gengar, I've managed to get a few Curse Body disables off, so it's still not a bad ability. Although the fact that we have two Pokemon with the same ability is, we could have better other Pokemon with like another ability, maybe even Blusef. But I just don't like that, and I really just wanted to use that Gengar Dragapult combo, and also it just hits pretty hard, so it's fine. And then finally we have Chandelure with Flash Fire just to take all those fire attacks for Aegislash. And then we have Scarf here with Trick, obviously to just cripple something. Crippling something in Monotype is way more useful than crippling something in OU, because in Monotype, most Pokemon kind of just do one thing for the whole team. Like for instance, in this team, if you Trick Corsola, sure, like I can either Strength Sap something or Wisp something or set up rocks or go for Nightshade, but I can't sit there and do all of these things. Certainly, at least like it's not even Nightshade is not very spammable. That's what I'm trying to say. Strength Sap not spammable either. So tricking something is actually very useful. That's why we have Trick on this. Flamethrower and Shadow Ball are just stabs, and then Psychic is just to improve our coverage against Psychic is just a good move to have, but these last choices are all like entirely up to you. Like you could run, I was running Overheat before, I just realized I never clicked it. At least Psychic was better for fighting types, because there was this one mono fighting that I played and I just clicked Psychic on this thing and then won just got 6-0'd by this. So yeah, there's that, and also like we can kill Toxapex and stuff. If it knows Haze, you can probably deal with Mimikyu and Dragapult, so there's that. But that kind of covers it. Once again, this also learns Dark Pulse, but I don't know what we need that coverage for. Energy Ball, like I said, is a very viable option, or you could just go for double step and then just throw another fire type move on, maybe like Overheat, just to get like nice Scarf Overheats off, I guess. And also it has a pretty amazing special attack at 145, so I don't think we're necessarily compensating for any drops by going for this over Blacephalon, because it has Beast Boost and this just has Flash Fire. So that's the whole team. I hope you guys like it, and I will be back with a match. Alright, people, so I found a match, and the reason why I picked this particular one was because, well, we have Ghost against Normal, which is very interesting because we can't really hit each other. On first sight, I always have the advantage here because Dragon Dart looks amazing here, but he does have threats. So, like, for instance, if this was Scarf Diggersby, you know, it can definitely do some damage to this team. Probably could just go for the sweep depending on if he managed to kill Mimikyu and Corsola or not. So it's something I always have to keep in mind. And then the Chansey is also a little bit annoying because our special attackers basically can do next to nothing because they're both, they're both choice locked. So as long as Chansey's alive, it's gonna be very, very tough for us. PZ is either Scarf or Specs, and Indeedee is either Scarf or Specs as well. Typically Scarf, but so that's what that was just my thought process going into this game, and I thought I didn't really worry about him going to Diggersby that much because I kind of wanted to scout for any particular item that he could have. Maybe Scarf, maybe it's just Life Orb, I don't know. But I thought he would just set up, go to Chansey and then set up Rocks and then kind of just try to go from there so that he can just get chip on everything. So we go into the game. He goes into Diggersby, which is a good play, and then as we trick, I figure out that he's also Scarf. And then he knocks off my Scarf, and then we die, which is fine. Good play by him, actually, because he just wanted to put up immediate pressure. I just don't think it was like the best option to go for, in my opinion, because I always had Aegislash and Chandelure wasn't really doing much. I just needed to trick Chansey, so it's kind of why I just did that. And if he didn't want to like stay in, maybe I don't know, maybe I thought he could be scared of Energy Ball or something, but like I said, he was Scarf, so he wasn't scared of anything. So that's also another situation in which it might be good to give grass coverage for Chandelure because Energy Ball will definitely be able to, I don't know if it OHKOs, but we'll be able to do damage, right? So but anyway, he goes into Diggersby, and then I don't really agree with this play after King Shield. So he knocks off. Obviously, we drop his attack. I think he should have just gone for the double knock, but he goes into double, and then we get a Toxic off. Now, I assume this double is probably that body press set, which you'll see soon. And he just goes into it. And then now he goes into Braviary, which I'm not really sure why, because it's not like he had stabs to kill Aegislash, but sorry. Probably just going a little too fast, but from the fact that he actually destroyed my substitute, what you can tell is that he's banded. So I thought it was interesting because this thing's choice Scarf and then this thing's banded. So I was like, okay, so you have two choice lock Pokemon, and that means I don't know what that Porygon and Indeedee were, right? So he Toxic this thing for free, and then he goes into Diggersby. We sub up again, and then this is kind of what I mean by Aegislash just putting in work, right? Like, look at this. Like, Shedinja, Shedinja will never be able to do this, but Aegislash kind of just sat there for, 3 Pokemon that he got out, and then we managed to Toxic 3 of them. And we're still going. Like, we're not even done, right? Like, we're almost at full health, too, so you can see how amazing this Pokemon is. Now, he goes for Brave Bird. We sub up again because we'll be able to get leftovers while he drains his own health. He goes into PZ finally. I don't know what this is, right? So I kind of just wanted to see what he would do. He goes with Shadow Ball. Makes sense, I guess. He kills the sub, and then we throw a Toxic off on it. And then I'm just going to King Shield again just to, get some health back and then go over 50%. So, okay, let me explain why I wanted a Gengar here. I did the calc, and I figured that he had to be Scarf or Specs, because I don't think, like, Agility is, like, a good set or anything, so I thought he should be either Scarf or Specs, and I thought he has no reason not to go for Shadow Ball, and if he was Scarf, he has a chance to kill me, but I think it's only like he does 102 max damage, so roll was definitely in my favor. And if he was Specs, he definitely would kill me, although in retrospect I kind of should have gone into Corsola to figure that out instead of Gengar, but probably a misplay for me, but it's fine. So I go into this just to scout, and he clicks Shadow Ball, and I don't die, which means he hasn't clicked anything else, so I kind of thought maybe he could just be Scarf, right? So, and then as it turns out, he was Scarf, because he outsped my Gengar and then he killed me, but then that was just Dragapult time. And at this point, we just win. Like I said, Dragon Darts, he has no resist, he has no switch-ins for Dragon Darts, and then we kind of just sweep here with just darts. I just sub up just for, just to stay safe in case that thing had Toxic or something. I don't really know what double runs except for that sub body press set. Not sub, the Cotton Guard body press set that we see. Now, his Indeedee turns out to not even be Psychic Surge, so I don't even know what that was. Sends out Diggersby, and then we DD up. We just darts up and then kill this. So that's 3 Pokemon that die to darts. Now, okay, so I just wanted to pause here because obviously, we win here from this point onward, but I wanted to pause here because this was a misplay by me. I should have done the calc, and it double is a 2-hit KO with +1 Dragon Darts. I went for DD because I thought he can't really do anything to me, which he can't. Like, as you'll see here, he was the Con Card body press set, but literally he does no damage to me because we're Mono Ghost. And I kind of choked here because there's a small possibility that he could have stalled me out with this because we only have physical attackers left. And he also had rest, so it's not like I could status it to win with Aegislash, but it's fine. Like, his chance of winning was still slim, and I just needed 1 crit to win, right? So I just used this chance while he was asleep to just DD up, and then, yeah, as it turns out, his whole set was Cotton Guard, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Body Press, so he's not doing any damage to me. And then I just used this chance to get +4. He realizes that he can't do anything to me, and also at +4 it's doing pretty good damage, so he switches out, and then he just didn't want to prolong the game, I guess, because he could have sat there and then stalled me out, but he just switches out into Braviary to sack it, and then everything just dies to a single Dragon Dart. Yep, so that's GG. I think so reflecting on this game, you have to consider that both of us just by type alone, neither of us had any advantage on each other, because we can't hit him with our stab and they can't hit us with their stab, right? So we're kind of at a crossroads there. But this kind of weird matchup is where your Pokemon's secondary typing can really come through, because as we saw, Aegislash, it just sat there for like God knows how many turns, taking so many hits, and then Dragapult came in, and then because of its dragon typing, we were able to identify it as our win con for this game, and then we kind of just went we just went bonkers once we got Dragon Darts off. Now I think Mono Normal definitely has a chance to beat this team. I just think their particular team didn't have any role compression, because think about it, they had 1, 2, 3 choice lock Pokemon, unless Braviary is just so strong that Brave Bird can just get rid of Spidef invested Aegislash's sub with just Brave Bird, right? So I don't know what the case with that Braviary was, but these two are definitely choice lock. So that means his most important breaker was Diggersby, and I could kind of play around it, and PZ was just set up fodder for me, right? And Diggersby was just a case of getting lucky with maybe going to Corsola and then getting that Curse Body off on knockoff, because then after that we come in with Dragapult, DD up, and then we win. So I think these two are really great in that's kind of what I meant with the Curse Body and the Dragapult synergy. So 2 choice Pokemon that already, we also have 2 choice Pokemon, but I think in this case they were more limited to what they could do with it than us, because worst come to worst, we could have just gone into Gengar and then clicked Sludge Wave on everything, right? Because except for Diggersby, there are no resist, so that's always an option, except for Chansey, I guess. But like I said, my idea was to cripple Chansey with Trick, and I thought he might go into it first, but he didn't. He went into Diggersby, but we still ended up winning. But I think that game kind of just shows you the power of this team, how it's able to kind of take advantage of how would I put this? I think Mono Ghost is perfectly fine as a team. The only issue with Mono Ghost is just that It's not too powerful or anything. It's kind of in the middle, tier, I guess, of all the typings out there. But Ghost does come in with some amazing secondary typings like Fairy, Dragon, Steel, Poison, which will be able to destroy Fairy types for Dragapult. So all these the secondary types are where not just for Ghost, but there are a lot of teams in which that really rely on its secondary typing to kind of let it propel. Like for instance, Steel would use a secondary type for all of its offensive maneuvers, I'm guessing, because Steel is an amazing defensive typing. But that's kind of how I built this team to take advantage of Ghost and its the Ghost type Pokemon's secondary typing or primary typing for Dragapult, I guess, to kind of just be able to clean up games for us. But yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you would like to see any other features or other Pokemon or team tech or anything, do let me know. And also, if you have an interesting team that you would like me to use and play, I can definitely leave it in the chat in the comments or something. I'll definitely take a look at it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next when I post. I don't know. I'll try to stick to a more rigid upload schedule, but work just has me busy, so it is what it is. But with that, I'm done. So peace.